It is never too early to start taking a little bit of a peek at week one, and the game of the week in week one is LSU Florida State in Orlando. And I've been saying this on Twitter, the banter in this game between these two fan bases is already in mid-season form. I post something about LSU, Florida State fans in the mentions. I post something about Florida State, LSU fans in the mentions. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's why we love this game, the emotion, the passion, the pageantry, all that. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's a neutral site game, like I already mentioned, in Orlando. This is a playoff game. This is a playoff game. We're not going to predict a winner right now, so that's why you should be subscribed and on the podcast and follow me on socials and JD Piquel on Instagram, Twitter, all that. But what I'm trying to tell you is it's still okay for us to take a look at the matchups that are going to decide this game, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first matchup that I am looking at very, very closely is Harold Perkins, the defensive weapon for LSU. We'll call him a linebacker for the sake of this conversation. And Jordan Travis, obviously the all preseason everything you would imagine, Florida State quarterback. So the thing that I'm watching really closely with this matchup is Harold Perkins. Remember how he was utilized last year for LSU? He was like a magic eraser for guys they wanted to try and take out of the game from a gameplay standpoint. Hey, Harold, this quarterback is hurting us with his legs. Harold Perkins, spying him. Done. Harold, this running back has been an issue for us. He's so versatile. He's multiple. Boom. Harold Perkins, that's the answer right there. Done. Take him out of the game plan. Cool. I think for Harold Perkins in this game, we're going to see a lot of what I just referred to a second ago. They're really going to use him to spy Jordan Travis. What does that mean? To break it down simply, if Jordan Travis rolls to the right, Harold Perkins, you're responsible for rolling with him. Jordan Travis, if he wants to tuck it and run to the left, Harold Perkins, same deal. You're with him. Harold Perkins, if Jordan Travis goes up to the concession stand at halftime because he wants some popcorn and he wants a Coke, you're going with him. Okay, so you are assigned to Jordan Travis the entirety of the game. We saw them do that really well last year when he was up against Bryce Young. Saw him do that really effectively when they were playing against Ole Miss. Saw them do that really effectively against Malik Hornsby at Arkansas. Like, whenever you had to answer for a mobile quarterback, Harold Perkins was that answer. And so I expect that to be no different in this game. Now, Jordan Travis, mobile quarterback for Florida State. We'll talk about him here in just a quick second, but make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel because we talk ball every single day on this wonderful platform that is the Hard Count on the On3 YouTube channel. Also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JD Piquel. Make sure you're locked in on the podcast as well. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find this show. So thank you in advance for doing that. As I was mentioning a second ago, Jordan Travis is a dual threat quarterback. Got in the end zone 7 times last year for Florida State as a rusher. Also a really capable passer as well. And so you better believe that Florida State is going to try and utilize his legs to be another headache for this LSU defense. It is just maddening for a defensive coordinator during the week to have to assign another period for the scramble drill or for making sure that you don't lose track of that mobile quarterback, because the thing with mobile quarterbacks, you can have everything schematically as a defense called correctly. You got everybody playing the right coverage. You have everybody in the right rush lanes. It's all working out perfectly from a schematic standpoint. Now, for someone like Jordan Travis, when he breaks contain, that's when the second play starts. That's when, okay, great, you had the answer for the first play schematically. You had everybody lined up for that first play schematically, but guess what? I just broke outside the tackle box. Now we're in my world if we're Jordan Travis. And so where I think we really see this whole operation, this whole matchup become a big factor is exactly what I was saying just then. When the play becomes extended, especially on third down, let's say it's 3rd and 4, tie ball game. 4th quarter, Jordan Travis rolls out 3rd and 4, and he's looking to get that first down. The difference between LSU having a chance to win the game and Florida State having a chance to win the game is that first down. And again, Harold Perkins, now responsible for spying Jordan Travis, makes that tackle, ball back to LSU, got a chance to win the game. If not, Jordan Travis able to get out and about and pick up that first down. Jordan Travis and Florida State have a chance to go kick a field goal or score a touchdown, have the go-ahead score. Like, obviously, that scenario I just walked out for you, that really determines the game. But even just think early in the game, those first downs that Florida State's able to pick up because of Jordan Travis extending his offense because of, being able to pick up a first down with his legs. That's going to be a big momentum point, I think, for this game. So that's the first matchup I'm watching. Harold Perkins and Jordan Travis, the cat and mouse game with how Jordan Travis utilizes his legs and Harold Perkins trying to spy him. Very, very key matchup. Other matchup I'm watching within this game is Florida State's defensive line against LSU's read option run game. I'm not just saying just the running back room or just Jaden Daniels, the read option run game that Jaden Daniels was just nasty with, especially the second half of last year. Let's start with Florida State. You got some dogs up front now. Anybody who watches this team, Jared Verse, probably going to be a high draft pick this time next year. Fabian Lovett, he is a dude for that defensive line. Then you went and got Darrell Jackson, who during spring practice, he transferred over from Miami to Florida State. Spring practice, the reports out of Tallahassee were, dude, he's a borderline game wrecker. Like, if he does what he's capable of doing, if he plays to his potential and he's healthy, that's three bad dudes in the defensive line for you. Control the line of scrimmage in this game, you win. All right? That's as simple as that. If you control the line of scrimmage, Florida State will win this football game. Now, the other side of that, LSU, when they were dangerous last year, there's a lot made about Jaden Daniels and him pushing the ball downfield, and I am 1,000% in agreement there. That was a big, big step for the LSU offense. But when LSU was really humming, when Jaden Daniels was able to push the ball downfield, one of the base points of that, in my mind, was them being able to be multiple in the run game. In the read option game specifically, when a defensive end, didn't matter if he crashed or if he just stayed put and forced Jaden Daniels to give the ball there, whenever it was a conversation around, hey, they got to deal with Jaden Daniels and Josh Williams this coming season, if it's Jaden Daniels and Logan Diggs, Notre Dame transfer running back, that's when you can really give a defense fits. Because Jared Verse, he's so dynamic, he's such a good player, but you can take a really good defensive lineman out of the game if you're able to read him. Meaning, whichever way he wants to go on that read option, he's wrong. So if you don't have answers for that as Florida State, that's where this becomes a headache. Because when that run game gets going, especially that read option game, that's when LSU, I think, becomes really, really dangerous. Because then everything else opens up. Then you got to worry about the running back taking the rock. You got to worry about Jaden Daniels running the rock. And, oh, by the way, those safeties probably have to add in so things open up downfield for our receiving core. So it's a big factor for LSU. It's a big factor for Florida State. It's a big factor for how LSU is going to try and score points. All right, momentum. A lot of it based on that read option game for the Tigers. Now, last matchup I want to talk about here. We've talked about it a few times. We talk about Florida State. We've prefaced it a little bit as a point of concern, point of curiosity, rather, for our good friends in Baton Rouge. The pass catchers of Florida State against these new pieces in the secondary for LSU. LSU went and got themselves 4 cornerbacks through the transfer portal. All guys that I believe can play. All guys that I have high expectations for. Florida State now, the size of those pass catchers has been a matchup problem, a matchup talking point, rather, for teams heading into this year. Because you got some size with Keon Coleman, also a guy through the portal. Kyle Morlock, also a guy through the portal, 6'7". Jaheim Bell, 6'3", transfer from South Carolina. We kind of keep going down the list here, not even to mention Johnny Wilson, 6'7", freak show on the outside for you at receiver. So if LSU isn't able to at least soften the blow of what that unit's going to be able to do, that could be a problem for them. I mean, to put it simply, Florida State's opportunity there is we want to put the ball on the top shelf and let our guys go eat. If LSU doesn't do something schematically to have another guy over the top or to match up well and get to the quarterback, like if they don't do something to stop the size of this Florida State receiving core and these pass catchers, I say receiving core, tight ends included, like that could be the edge for Florida State. But LSU, if they can do enough schematically, like I was just talking about, and turn it back to the run game and force Florida State to get their yards that way, I say force Florida State. LSU likes Harold Perkins making tackles. LSU likes Mason Smith making tackles and controlling the line of scrimmage. That's the world LSU wants to win in. Doesn't matter. You can't have those guys make plays for you if Jordan Travis taking a 3-step drop and put the ball up to Keon Coleman. And if that's a successful play, that's where you start to get a little bit more uncertain if you're an LSU fan. So we're not picking this game right now. Do not get it twisted. There is no prediction from yours truly right now. There will be. You better believe there will be. That's why you should be subscribed. When it gets closer, we'll break it down. It'll be a lot of fun. But those are the matchups I'm watching for. Harold Perkins, Jordan Travis, the cat and mouse game, the Florida State defensive line versus the LSU read option game, how multiple they can be, how that opens things up for LSU, and then the secondary, some of those new pieces they added versus Florida State's new pieces they've added. So LSU's new corners, Florida State's new pass catchers. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I cannot wait. Again, week 1, less than 100 days away. Less than 100 days away. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following me on the socials. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.